Hi guys, welcome back to Mashalewa Space. I am Mashalewa. Today I'll be talking on something very personal to me. The reason why I'm talking about this issue is as a result of recent events in my life, and it has just sparked the need for me to divulge and discuss this issue. Where do I start from? Growing up, I've always been the big kid as far as I can remember, and because of that I was very insecure. I was very available. I was there to console people. I didn't like people feeling bad around me because I understood how it felt to be ignored, to not be appreciated. I've just realized now that I've changed for the better. I've become an adult that understands the need to set boundaries in life, to be respected, and to be reciprocal in my actions. And what do I mean by reciprocal in my actions? I'll treat you the way you treat me. Someone has to say it, and I will say it. You'll be treated the way you treat people. Not all the time, of course, and not in every situation. But where I have the control to determine how I would be treated, I take charge of it. I think always been the introverted kid, always been the child kid, always been the most introspective kid. I noticed more, but I didn't know how to set boundaries, and people walk over that. People sense that. People take advantage of that, and it hurts because you're kind to people, you're nice, you're not the best, but you try, and people don't even care to treat you well. So I was having a discussion with my friend, and because of the conversation, she just spilled it that I'm not raw, and I was like, what? I'm not raw? And she was like, not in the main kind of way, but I'm a kind of person that I am more in tune with emotions. I'm emotionally intelligent, if I say so myself. So I try as much as possible to not utter one's feelings. But don't be misled. I will tell you the truth as it is. But I think I take a gentler approach to life. When she explained that, I understood why she said I was not raw. And I took no offense. So the story time. I'm in university. By now you should have discovered. I'm in my final year. And the accommodation system is that you are going to be paired with a roommate or roommates depending on the kind of room you land. And I landed a room for 2 people. Let's just say the experience has been educative and insightful for me. I'm not the kind of person I like to call people out or try and shame people, but I need to tell my side of the story and why I realized that boundaries are important. So that's the situation of my accommodation. And when we resumed, everything was fine. It was cool. We have to tolerate one another. We have to learn more about one another. Things are falling apart. And why? I realized that I was not being respected. I was not being treated fairly and kindly. And P.S. she's in the lower level. I'm in my finals. She's intermediate. I don't want to be too specific. She's a person that has a lot of friends and she accommodates them. And because of her, I try my best to be nice, accommodate them too. But I realized that I was not being listened to. I was not being treated nicely in my own room. Can you imagine? And I'm not going to demonize anybody. I think she's genuinely a very sweet person. She's a very lovely person, but she has her flaws and I have mine. And you listening to me have to be cognizant of the fact that I'm telling my side of the story as regards to why I believe boundaries are important. Someone else will tell their story differently. So, P.S. this is a one-man point of view. I am not a group friend person. I love my space. I love to be able to go and get my friends when I want to. I don't want to be crowded. And she is that kind of person. To an extent, she loves her space, but she prefers the company of her friends more than, solitude that I've discovered. And there's going to be friction somehow. Well, I pride myself in being an understanding person and a very considerate person. So I was always conscious of the fact that they will come in, make noise. At time I correct them, tell them to please reduce their noise and all. Sometimes they took offense to it. And there was even a time she told me that I shouldn't speak to her friend that way again. That I was being mean, even though I didn't intend to come off as being mean. Wow. Can you imagine? Well, I didn't take offense to that, but I was taking note of the fact that she was not considerate of my plight. She didn't mind friends coming around all the time, making noise, just being loud, while I'm just trying to exist in my space. And because I'm the kind of person that before I resort to conflict with you, before I finally let the situation break down irretrievably, I would have a discussion with you. I'll let you know I don't like this thing, just so you are aware, just so that you have noticed, right? Because while you'll be having issues with somebody and they're not aware of it, especially with something that can be settled before it gets wild. So I told her, not once, not twice, I don't like the noise that accompanies your friends when they come around. And what gave her friend leverage was that she was the loudest. My roommate is like a very loud person at times. She's very expressive, she's a free spirit, and genuinely I love that for her. And I told her that most times she's the loudest, so when I'm even trying to correct her friends that they should reduce their noise, I'm uncomfortable because my roommate is literally the loudest. They will look at her and take that as like permission to even be louder if possible. And she kept apologizing. I mean, I would give that to her. She apologized, but apology don't cut it. Actions speak louder than words, and the issue was just there. It didn't resolve, and I didn't like it. I don't appreciate not being listened to. I don't appreciate being taken for granted, and that's how I felt. Maybe she was not aware of that, but I want to believe she knew I was not comfortable with how we resolved the issue anytime I brought it up. And finally, everything went sour. And you know the funny part? When I fall out with people, when I have a fallout with people, it's not dramatic. Funny enough, it's not loud, it's not physical. It's just, I just go distant. I just disassociate, and it will just be from the smallest thing you have done that I can't take anymore. Yeah, maybe I need to change too, but that's a story for another day. And what caused it? A friend of ours, usually, because that doesn't happen anymore, comes to read in the room, and she can be there till like, I don't know when the friend goes. Generally speaking, the friend can come around 10 and leave probably, I know it's not 1 a.m, it's not 2 a.m, because there are times I'm awake till that time and she's still around. So I want to believe 3-4 before that friend leaves, and they just make noise. So in the course of studying, quote unquote, because overnight readers, and that's not a system I adopt, you can see the difference. But I don't mind, since it's my roommate that is reading, and I am going to tolerate that because it is not a one-man room. You see where I'm willing to be sacrificing, to be considerate, but she isn't, and where she isn't, I would further discuss. So the friend will come in the course of studying, course of writing notes and all, they make noise. Sometimes, because I get tired of telling people to stop making noise, like, I don't like it. Why do I have to repeat myself? I don't like it. I've let you know I don't like this thing. You keep doing it. At that point, I just realized you don't have regard for my words, so I'll just not talk to you about that again. I'll just find a solution. I have this. I might ask, why am I showing you that? Those are what I put on my ear so that I don't have to hear how loud they are at times. I put on the headphone, and if need be, I use the earpiece if the earphone battery is low, and I can still hear these people through my headphone. They're making noise. I'm not complaining because I get tired of complaining. I was not born to be a complainant. If you're not listening, I will do something about it. And through my headphone, I can't remember what exactly I was using that day, whether it's the earpiece or the headphone, I could hear a friend tell her that why would someone be listening to something and knowing that the person in the room, the other person with you, cannot listen to what you're hearing, and you're like kind of being distracting, or you're making noise, insinuating that I am making noise, right? In my own room. Oh my days, I have suffered. That did not annoy me initially. If she had stopped at that, maybe I wouldn't have, bothered. But this girl continually said this statement. She said it in so many ways that I can't even remember. My roommate was not telling her that, why will you see such, I'm paraphrasing it, that's not exactly what she said, but like along the lines. She kept repeating it that, why would you be listening to something and laughing or talking when someone else is in the room doing something and they cannot even listen to what you're saying? Guys, this is around 1 a.m. in my own room. Oh my days, I was super pissed when she repeated it. Maybe she didn't know that I'd taken off my headphones and I was about to go out of the room to go ease myself because I didn't sleep early that night, and I was super pissed. And I tell you, that was the last time me and my roommate spoke. And that's about, I'm recording this on a Thursday. That was last week Wednesday. I'm this kind of person that I won't say I'm so nice, but I pride myself in being a kind person. I think I'm very considerate. So when you are showing yourself to be so intolerable, at that point, I don't give a. I just have to say it. I'm just not going to care about you. I think my response to the situation is that yes, I took offense. Not initially, but after, giving it a thought, after discussing with a couple of friends, I took offense. Not because of what my friend said or anything, dissecting the situation myself. And I just decided, this girl is not listening to me. I've told you this is what is causing issue between us all the time, and you're not doing anything to change it. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to relate with you. And I'm going to set my boundaries. And I've had peace ever since. This girl got the message when I wasn't saying anything. It's funny how humans behave. When I was nice with you, when we were speaking times, when I was smiling, telling you I don't like this thing, you were apologizing, you kept repeating it. But then I changed. I show you the other side of me. I showed you that I can actually not relate with you. I can actually act like you don't exist. Then you started behaving. Like, how does it work? I'm confused. And then there was a light bulb moment in my head that boundaries are really important. And that was a failure on my part. I think because I did not set boundary early in the relationship, the boundary that I'm your roommate or I am a senior and I also deserve this level of regard in a way, which because I'm a fair person, I would also give to you if you behave. I didn't say that early on. I presented myself as being understanding, being open to your mistakes and believing that I would work it out along the way. That was my fault. I'm not saying you should come off as being mean or as being withdrawn to people you meet for the first time, but set boundaries. Because I have a friend who is in a similar situation as I am, and I and my roommate don't talk the way me and my roommate used to. They never did, and they haven't fallen out with one another. Why? Because the boundaries was there. They don't hate one another, they're just not friendly as I was. Now the question in my mind is that, does being friendly make you a fool? Why I find it so difficult to set boundaries at time is because of my childhood trauma, because of growing up as the introverted, shy, big kid that no one really paid attention to. Because then when people pay attention to me, I'm just like, you're talking to me? Oh, I'm going to be so nice to you. I'm going to be your friend. And growing up with that makes you vulnerable. It does. And on the other hand, when I do set boundaries, I go overboard. When I now set the boundaries, you're like, Shaliwa, calm down, because you don't exist to me anymore. That's how pained and hurt I get. I let people in, but once I let them out, yeah, it's done. I'm not saying I have a rocky relationship with your friends, your roommate, or anything. I'm just emphasizing the need for boundaries. I might not have spoken logically. I might not have assessed the situation correctly. In a way, I want advice, because I want the situation to improve. There are times I just want to maybe I should talk to her, maybe I should say hi, maybe I should let her know that I actually don't hate her, because I don't want her to feel like I hate her. But then I realize once we start to talk, once I start to get friendly again with you, start to behave. Now we're not on speaking terms. Your friends come around, you tell them not to make noise. Why are you telling them now? Now you are behaving yourself. Now you're particularly doing things that you hurt you. Like, you would tell me you don't like things, I wouldn't do them. That's if it's reasonable. But then I tell you I don't like things, you don't take it as something important. And now we don't talk anymore, and your head is screwed on, right? I don't get it. I really do not get it. But that's the wonders of being an human being. Different people, different experience, goodness gracious, because she would explain this situation in a totally different way, but the thing is going to be consistent for it to be the truth. Because what is our issues? Your friends coming around making noise, you yourself being very loud and being disrespectful, not realizing it, or maybe realizing it and not caring. To someone listening to this, if you're in a junior level, I promise you I'm not the main kind of roommate. If anything, I have had experiences with younger roommates, and oh my days, we were very good. And in that same week, I saw my ex-roommate when I was in 400 level. This girl was 100 level, and I had one of the most peaceful experience with that girl. She was so sweet, and we are so different, just the way I am with this present roommate. It's only I've never even been paired with a roommate that was so similar. Maybe introverted in a way, but we are going to be vastly different in character and all. So it's not as if I cannot relate with people. I cannot relate with people that are different from me, people that are extroverted. In fact, I am intrigued by people like that. In fact, I appreciate them, because life would be boring if everyone was like me. I admit boundaries are important. As much as you have the urge to relate to people, to be nice, sometimes yourself find peace and solitude, and you would appreciate yourself more. Maybe this experience needed to happen for me to realize I don't really know how to set boundaries anymore, or when I do set boundaries I go overboard. But in a way, I've learned something from this experience, and you see, an ongoing experience is still current. Nothing has really changed as regards to the fact that we are not on speaking terms. So I'm not going to come here and pretend like, oh, this is how I resolved the issue with my roommates. Listen to this. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying my side of the story and emphasizing once again why it is necessary to set boundaries. Now, I'd like to know you guys' experience with boundary setting at every stage of your life, because I'm at this stage of my life that I'm practically an adult. As scary as it is, if I don't know how to enforce certain standards in my own life at this stage, I'll make a lot of mistakes and people will take advantage of me. So if you meet me and I'm not who you used to know, sorry, I've grown. And I know I've changed. I'm way mature than I used to. And funny enough, before this event occurred, I believe I'm now more mature than before, because I've always enjoyed solitude, but now all my days I dwell in solitude. I thrive in it. I appreciate solitude as much as I appreciate companionship, because it's necessary. Now I have time to think. That loud energy, like, it's not there. At least it's been very limited. It's not once in a while, and that once in a while, so I don't come off as being too much. I don't complain too much, I promise you. But if I can't stand it, I'm gonna voice up. I have a similar video to this where I discussed why I believe big girls deserve to feel beautiful. And back then, even when I said I intend to make series like this, I didn't expect that it was going to be a first-hand experience that I will use to make my next video. And this topic has really been bothering me, and that's why I just want to talk about it, and I hope someone relates to it. And I think I'm proud of myself, because before, I know myself, I would just hold it all in. I would just be pissed at you. You know I'm pissed, I mean, sorrow. But now I'm more vocal about things, and where I think there ought to be silence, I would let you know that I'm not talking, but my actions would do the talking for me. So a few lessons I've taken away from this experience is that life is always going to teach you, and that you should always be willing to learn. Guys, also to put it out, I don't believe that I am absolved of all faults and blame in this situation. A little disclaimer, but to a greater extent, I am not the faulting party, if you get what I mean. So that is why I believe boundaries are important. People respect you, people appreciate you. What you said that they didn't listen to back then, they listen to it when you set your boundaries straight, when you have standards, and you're like, girl, boy, don't do that. But instead of saying it with words, your actions should speak louder than words. Silence is golden. I didn't believe it. But it is, because silence has worked for me in this situation better than my words ever could. I am open to reconciliation. I'm open to finding a better way to resolve my problems. And let's see how it goes. So if you've had a similar situation to mine, not necessarily with a roommate or anything, let us know in the comment section and how you resolved that issue. What's your advice for me? What do you think I should do? What steps do you think I should implement? What have I done that you think I should undo or I should stop doing? I'm here to learn, and I'm here to teach. I hope you guys enjoy a splendid day, and I hope you find peace, because it's important. I hope you appreciate yourself, because you're a superhuman. Give it up for yourself. The fact that you can coexist with other human beings in this world, my dear, every day you're called for a medal. But I don't know what's doing the government. So guys, that's the end of this video. And if you're new here, let me do a little welcome. My name is Omashalewa, and this is Omashalewa's Space. And I love to have, captivating discussions on interesting issues. At times I do more introspective conversations, something like this. And at times I just do social commentaries on issues that I believe there should be more voices speaking on. So if that is your cup of tea, which I hope it is, this is the right place for you at Omashalewa's Space. And I hope to always see your beautiful face here. Or if you always want to see my beautiful face, because yeah, that'll be all for today. I love you guys so much. I really do. And I appreciate the reception of my last video. And if you haven't watched it, it was a vlog. I do lifestyle content too. Yes, to put it there. I'm a law student, final year law stuff, and easy. So if that's your cup of tea too, this place, we're generic, we have everything. You will find what you love. Catch you in the next one. Bye.